So we all been there at some point. We just keep on working, but it's like it's never enough. There is so much thing going on. We just can't get out of this feeling that we are getting overwhelmed, that we can't get out of it. That's just insane. Well, this is going to be what we're going to talk about today, because I find a way to actually mitigate that, to actually never feel overwhelmed again, because that's something I've been struggling a lot in the past, where I tend to carry too much project at the same time, just overcommitting on everything, and just focusing also on too much on one thing and not on other, and then I have pile of things that I need to get done, but I never can find the time to actually get it done. So I'm going to talk exactly about that, how you can manage that to never actually feel overwhelmed again. So let's get to it. And what actually led me to that understanding was when I was in my engineering school, I met a girl which was kind of impressive. That was the best of the class. She was going straight A's every single time, even though everybody else was getting B, C, and so on. Just straight A's all the time. And well, there is other people that was actually envying him or her, or was kind of being jealous. I was more mesmerized by what she was doing and how she was doing it. And it led me to that understanding, a quote that I carry with me from now on. I'm going to say it in French first, because that's kind of the way I'm interpreting, but I'm going to translate in English just after. So, être à jour le jour. So the idea of this is be up to date today. The idea is really that. And honestly, even though that may seem simple, that's really all there is to it. So the idea is, whatever amount of work you have to do today, make sure you get it done. You get it done. You don't overload your future self for being lazy today. That's kind of it. That's the base. I'm going to explain how you can go about doing that actually in real life to actually get things done, because when we get overwhelmed, we are putting things that we need to do today for tomorrow, for the most important things that we think we need to do right now. But there is a big catch to that, and the issue is, by putting more and more on your plate for tomorrow, you are making sure you are going to get overwhelmed at some point. Because here is the deal. Tomorrow, I always refer to that because in a hype, because I'm a professional athlete, and so as a professional athlete, we understand that we need to work with periodization. So there is time where we have more energy and time where we have less. And so, see, as time goes on, the level of work required is going to keep adding up. But as time goes on, your level of fatigue is also going to rise. So in the end, your level of output is going to drop. And so that's mainly what's going to happen. Once you reach that point where your level of output is under the amount of work that is required because your level of fatigue is too high, this is a breaking point. This is a point where you will start feeling overwhelmed and you will not be able to do it. So the idea of being up to date today is that you make sure the level of work, let's put it that way here. So we have our level of energy that is going to drop over time. And so that's why also we are doing in periodization, we are doing some cycles here where you put more and more and more and more effort into what you do, which is basically that as the level of work increase and the level of fatigue increase, the level of perceived effort increase as well. That's kind of what it shows here. So this is the perceived effort. So it reaches a peak point where you're near the breaking point. And so once you're near the breaking point, the idea of periodization is on cyclically basis, you just reduce the effort. It will be here, you just drop the workload just to get the fatigue back up so you can move on to continue. But so the idea here of being up to date today is to try to keep the workload as constant as possible, as much constant as you can actually do. So actually, this is not that. This is going to happen. Your fatigue is still going to grow, but since it is growing at a much slower pace, you are able to sustain a much higher amount of production for a much longer period of time. And so you can sustain more work for longer and actually never feel overwhelmed. I'm not sure that's exactly accurate here, but because even if the work stays the same, you will still generate fatigue over time. So that's why to never get overwhelmed ever again, you still need those periods where you are actually deloading the work, reducing the amount of work. So basically at that point, what you want to do is not, so how it will work is as soon as you reach that point here, you're reducing the work, which is going to lead to a rejuvenation of your energy. Sorry, the energy is blue. This is the red line. So that's going to allow you to alleviate the energy. So for that period of time, since you're putting less effort, your output is going to be pretty much the same. But then once you're actually getting back to normal work, you have much more result because your fatigue is a lot lower. And then as the fatigue starts rising, you start decreasing again. And you do it over and over and over and over. That's kind of the thing here. So that's kind of the main idea here. There is just a few things that I have talked in previous video. So if you want to go check it out, this is on the productivity playlist where I'm talking a lot about, first of all, periodization. I've done a lot of videos about that, so you can check that out as well. And you also, I made some video about time boxing, because one of the way you can be up to date every day is by having clear boundaries. One of the things that can get you there to get and feel overwhelmed all the time is not having clear boundaries on the work you're doing. If you say I'm only working 2 hours a day and I have blocked for doing everything that I need to do every day, and if you respect those, you will never get over. The only thing that can happen is you getting frustrated by the fact that you are not moving as fast as you want. So then this is about doing something else. This is about, okay, I'm going to allocate more time to the things that I want to move fast, knowing that, okay, the other thing I'm going to suffer. But so that kind of trade-offs. If you don't want to feel ever overwhelmed ever again, you need to make choices. But also understand that can happen over the course of a month, but also over the course of a year. And so there is time where your long-term, year-long fatigue is relatively high, is relatively low, your year-long fatigue. And so that might be time where you can put more effort, more hours into the things that you want to move fast. And then once your fatigue starts dropping, you can reduce it later. But there is a lot of subtleties that come to that. That's why I really advise you to go and watch my other videos that I made about productivity. I think you are going to get a lot of value out of it. But in a nutshell, this is about that. Having a time box for everything that you do to make sure that every day you are up to date on everything. Period. If you do that and respect the boundary you have set for yourself, you will never, ever feel overwhelmed ever again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.